Howdy guys, Mac Double Tap Shooting. Not really double tap holsters today. Today we're going to go back to the shooting world aspect of it. And yes, as much as I hate to, we're going to go down this road. I have got so many comments throughout the ballistic series from the 1911 crowd. And this gun's up here. This is one of my 1911s. Just so people understand, yeah, I've shot a 1911, maybe once or twice. Competed with 1911s. I have shot the piss out of my 1911s. They're a lot of fun to shoot. I just wouldn't carry one to bet my life on. Now everybody says, well, what, you don't have a good reliable 1911 that you're willing to bet your life on? It's not true. This gun, although it is a Sig Sauer custom shop gun, has also been fitted by craftsmen. Myself. I have built this gun and retuned it, used blocks and tools and stuff to be. I am a 1911 gunsmith. Am I one of the best in the world? Probably not. Can I make a 1911 run? Have so far. So I'm not arguing the shootability or the fun or any of that goes with the 1911. What I'm going to tell you is why I don't carry this gun or any 1911 to bet my life on. First of all, we do need something to compare it to, and everybody knows what I'm going to compare it to, but I'm going to pull out my good old handy dandy carry gun, Mr. Glock. Everybody goes, oh, well, I knew. Yeah, duh. I carry a Glock because it works. And everybody says, well, my 1911 works, so we're going to go over a bunch of the stuff. And make no mistake, I did not want to go down this road. Partially because it's been overdone to death. Everybody's going to think. And I haven't decided what I'm going to title this yet. It's not going to be 1911 suck. Because they don't suck. They suck for a gunfight. They're not a horrible gun to go take out and shoot. They're not a horrible gun to go out and compete with, or have fun with, or to even train with. I suggest you train with any gun you can get your hands on. That way, if you ever got to pick one up off the battlefield, you know how to use it. What this is, though, is 100-year-old technology. Now everybody's going to say, John Moses Browning was a genius. Yep, not arguing. Some of you assholes talk like you know him personally. If you did know John Moses Browning personally, you'd be dead too, probably. I'm sure there might be one or two people left on the planet that know him, or did know him. But the rest of you guys are just reading about him, just like me. First of all, you did not grow up and go to different schools together. He did not date your sister. He's not your daddy. Don't get so offended when people don't think that he is just a god. I don't think that he was a god. I think he was an engineer. Was he a fine engineer? Absolutely. Did he build the better mousetrap at the time? Yep. there were some, you got to remember, he was trying to, at the time, really beat the functionality of a wheel gun, which wasn't that tough. So let's get some things out of the way. 7 or 8 or 9, whatever, plus 1. I'm so tired of 1911 guys trying to qualify the capacity of the 1911 with their plus 1 statement. Every gun on the planet, every one, every single last fucking one of them has plus 1 capabilities. It's a retarded comment. It's as dumb as the day is long, and it makes you sound like you don't have the brains God gave a wooden duck. Every gun, each and every single lottie-dottie gun has plus 1 in the chamber if you want to reload the magazine. First of all, what a lot of you guys don't understand, let's talk about, if you want to talk about the mechanics of a gun, let's talk about the mechanics of a gun. The way guns are designed. I'll take this one apart because it's a whole lot damn fast. Turn on Mr. Light. There we go. And I ain't got a prayer how to show this to you. The way all automatics that I know of are designed, there is a piece of metal right here. Get it in the frame. This is called the stripper. It is designed, its purpose is to strip the next round off the magazine and push it into the chamber. After it strips it, what ultimately happens is that bullet slides up underneath, behind actually, towards the back. The extractor, and as the firearm comes back into battery. So, what a lot of you guys don't realize, the first thing you're doing incorrectly is when you take that bullet and drop it in the chamber, and then drop the slide on it, to get that extra plus 1, you're forcing that extractor to jam over the lip of that casing. And one time it's not a big deal. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. The more you do that, you're damaging the extractor on your gun. On this gun, on any of them. It's not designed to put a round in the chamber and drop the slide on. It's designed to be pushing that round into the chamber, have the back of the bullet come up and slide up between the bolt face and the ejector. I'm sorry, the extractor. So your plus 1, most of you do it wrong anyway. If you really got to have that plus 1, put the magazine in the gun, drop the slide on it, pull the magazine out, put your extra bullet back in there, and then you get your plus 1. Can be done with any gun on the planet. So when you say, well, you know, Glock holds 15 rounds, my 1911 would, you know, it's got 7 plus 1, so it's not quite half, but it's horseshit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Let's move on. I just can't shoot a 1911 or a Glock very well. The grip angle sucks. No, the grip angle of Glock or an M&P or whatever specific gun that you shoot does not suck. Your shooting abilities suck. Kind of looks like the same damn grip angle, doesn't it? It may be a mosquito hair, one way or the other. And I don't know, let's pick something off the rack here. There's a SIG guy somewhere. Where's the SIG? SIG, SIG. Here, SIG. There, SIG. Everywhere, SIG, SIG. There's SIG. Wow. That looks damn close. Springfield. Let's go with Mr. Springfield XDM. Might be a little straighter grip angle, if anything. Heckler and Koch. That's the same grip angle. Beretta. Oop. Gotta be a Beretta guy somewhere. Yep, that's the same grip angle. Am I telling you these aren't 1/10 of a degree or a degree or maybe even 2 degrees off? Nope, I'm not telling you that. Let's look at Mr. Ruger. Yep, that's the same grip angle. Eeny, meeny, miny, Smith & Wesson. M&Ps. Yeah, if anything, that's a little bit. Nope, that's the same grip angle. The point of this is most grip angles on handguns may be off a degree from one way or the other from a 1911. All pistol grip angles are basically the same. There's not enough difference between one grip angle to another that you can tell the difference shooting them. There's not. It's a horseshit statement. It's stupid. There's three things. Three things that matter to shooting a handgun. 3. First thing, your grip. If you, every time you pull the trigger on a gun, feel the need to change your grip back or readjust your hands, your grip sucks. Period, end of story. Don't care. Not my grip's working, but the gun moves. Now, if your gun moves when you pull the trigger, your grip sucks. Now, I know that. My grip sucked for a long time. And then I was competing one day, and a world-class shooter come up to me and says, "Man, let me help you." And I took his advice. This was 20 years ago. And you know what? That grip that he taught me has evolved since then. Because times have changed. We learn things. So now I run the grip I run. You know what? 2 years from now, if you're watching this video, probably not going to be running the same grip that I'm running today. Maybe I will be. Been running this grip for a while. It's going to be tough to improve on. But someday somebody will figure something out. It's going to happen. Change and evolution. If you are not open to it, you're going to be behind the power curve. Second thing, sight alignment. This is your front sight. This is your rear sight. The front sight should be located in the rear sight. Should be roughly straight across the top and bottom, equal distance on the left and right. Now that's on a 1911. Let's talk about sight alignment on Mr. Glock. Front sight should be located in the middle of the back sight. Straight across top and bottom, equal distance left and right. Well, that kind of sounds the same, don't it? Because it is. The bullets always, 100% of the time, without exception, go where the sights are pointed. Always, no exceptions. Unless your sights are A, not aligned to the bore of the weapon, or B, you move the sights before the gun goes off. Those are the only two things that can happen, that the bullet does not follow the path of the sights. So if your sights are aligned properly with your bore, and you line these sights properly before pressing the trigger, and you do not move your hand position or body position before pressing the trigger, The bullets will always go where the sights are pointed. If you don't point them there, that's your problem, not the guns. Trigger control. The number one thing that will cause people to not have proper sight alignment. If you are not manipulating your trigger properly, if you are jerking the trigger, slapping the trigger, reaching too far through the trigger guard, don't have enough of the trigger, or if you're anticipating recoil, if there's 100 different other things that you can do while manipulating the trigger of that gun to move your sight alignment before the firing pin and or striker strikes the primer, thereby setting the bullet off. So, no. None of those three things have anything to do, or more to the point, those three things have everything to do with what your bullet impact is. If your bullet is not hitting where it's supposed to, it's your mistake, not the guns, not any manufacturer guns. I do not care what you're shooting. It does not matter if you're shooting a 1911, a Glock, a SIG, a Beretta, a CZ. If you screw up any one of them three things, the bullets will not land where they're supposed to. So, stop with the grip angle argument. It's stupid. It is God. If I told you that if you put me in a Chevy, I can drive it straight down the road, and that's fine. But then I get into a Dodge and I hit every mailbox out there, you'd go, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Yeah, it is. It's no different than what you're saying about the grip angle of a 1911 versus Glock versus this. If you don't know how to shoot the gun, it's not the gun's fault. By any standards. There was a guy on Top Shot, one of the first couple of seasons. He was a Glock guy, and they put a Beretta in his hand, and he sucked. And little interview deal on the side, he tried to blame the fact that he's accustomed to the grip angle of a Glock and not the Beretta, and it just didn't land. Horse shit. He had a bad day, and then he made excuses for it. It was stupid. It's still stupid. You listen to those comments tomorrow, it's still going to be stupid. He did not operate the weapon properly. Therefore, he lost. The gun operated just fine. Happened to be a Beretta in that case. Let's talk about some of the things that are outdated on this gun. If you'll notice, on my hand or any hand, if you come to the top of the back strap where your hand meets the metal, and then you run your index finger straight down the gun, you'll notice on a 1911 there's roughly, that's roughly a ½ inch, I guess, between the slide and where my finger is. What that does, and if you notice before we even get into this conversation, because modern guns, they figured out, if we notice on the Glock, when I'm deep into the back strap as I should be, my finger just barely is underneath the slide. And most modern guns, we'll take an M&P for instance, this channel's cut so high up into the back strap, we have the same effect. And I know this isn't a real gun, you can't see the slide as well, but let me assure you, same thing applies. Let's pick up Mr. Springfield. And it's just kind of handy because I have these. Take that Springfield XD, same thing. Here would be the slide line. Back here the H&K. Ooh, look. It's more of a 1911. One of my problems with the H&K, my problem with the 1911, is because the recoil energy is a ½ inch above your hand. It creates a mechanical advantage during recoil. As that recoil comes back, and because The recoil is a half an inch above your hand. It creates a mechanical advantage on your wrists, therefore adding to felt recoil, not taking away from it. Muzzle flip. I don't care who you are. If you run the exact same grip on a 1911 as you would on, say, a Glock 21, with the same ammunition, same barrel lengths, as close as you can get to making that gun the same as a Glock 21, you will shoot the Glock 21 more effectively. Because we are higher up on the backstrap. If we could, this is how we would hold a handgun, actually about right there, to shoot it, to mitigate the recoil or control the recoil as best as possible. Obviously, that's not going to work. Somebody says, "Well, it'll rip your hand off." No, it won't. At the most, it'll sting you. For sure, it's going to kind of cause the gun, anyone, the 1911 or the Glock, to not operate. Jam, malfunction. This is 100-year-old technology. 100 years old. Can any of you tell me when the 1911 was put into service? Play some Jeopardy music. Yeah. 1911. So what are we talking now? This is 2014. 103-year-old technology. I would love to have a Model A. Would love to have a Model A. Damn sure wouldn't drive it to work every day. Let's see. Look at my little paper, the next stupid. Okay. My 1911 has been more reliable than any gun I've ever owned. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, you don't shoot it. All guns jam. Glocks, everybody's gun's gonna jam. If you have a gun that has never jammed, you don't shoot it enough. Period. Some people will go, "Oh, I've shot the hell out of my guns, and God, I can't count the number of rounds I ran through them." Well, you should have. It was probably like 500-600 rounds in its lifetime. This gun here has had, I think its hardest day I put it through, 600 rounds. I think it's the worst day that gun has had. Maybe 7. This gun here, worst day it's had, probably about the same. Most of my guns, a good day for them is 600-700 rounds. Average day, not near that much. I hear all these shooters talking about how much they shoot, and all these tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of rounds they shoot. One douchebag in particular, this was in a 40 argument. "I saved all my boxes. Here's a stack of boxes." First of all, if you're saving all your empty boxes from the range to prove to me how much you shoot at the range, you need a hobby that involves something other than me. This little prick, candy ass, goat smelling, malnutrition, inbred, candy ass, sissy girl, little boy from Texas. 2 things come from Texas: steers and queers. Did not say any horns on him. There's no way he was shooting all that ammunition. And I can tell you this from watching his videos, because if he is shooting all that ammunition, he needs to take some of the money he's spending on that ammunition and go get somebody to teach him to shoot it properly, because my God, does he suck. I mean, like, really, horribly. 3 foot below the target on the first shot suck. At a massive 10 yards. Yeah, anyway. Most people will never wear out a gun. I have very few guns that I have ever completely worn out. I have wore out a few. But the general rule of thumb is because of the way this gun is built, and there's different standards, and I don't have them in front of me. I'll put them as little pop-ups on the screens. This gun is designed to be rebuilt after, God, I hate to throw a number out here when I'm talking out my ass. It's not even 10,000 rounds, that part I promise you. I've got Glocks. My crusty old Glock 17 that I throw across the concrete in every damn class that I've been shooting forever and is not down here. That gun's got a shitload more than 10,000. It's probably got 100 times that. I know that gun's got well over 100,000 rounds over. I know it does. The tolerances on this metal versus metal, well tuned, well finely tuned machine are too tight. Does it lend to accuracy? Yes. Does it does it make it smooth? If it's properly lubricated, yeah, it makes it a very smooth shooting gun. Is it great for long-term combat? No, it's not. If you fill that thing up with sand, like I do my Glock at every class, sand and red dirt and clay and mud and grime and whatever's on the range that day, rocks, this gun is going to stop operating. It is not made to work in those environments. Now somebody's going to go, well, in the original torture test, they took this gun and they fired 6,000 rounds through it in a day. Yeah, so I heard. There's no records of how many times it jammed. There are no records of whether or not the gun was broken at the end of that day. All we know is that the other automatics that it competed against, they chose this one. Actually, not this one. They chose one and then modified it. They actually chose the 1910, which is a little bit different from the 1911. But it's how the 1911 came to be. This is not the 1911 as John M. Browning designed it. He did not design the 1911. John Browning did not design the 1911. He designed the 1910. And the government requested things like the safety. What didn't there? Wasn't there? It didn't exist. All he had was the grip safety. Now somebody's going to say, because they watched another video on 1911 suck, and he said, no, the grip safety wasn't there. Well, he's wrong. Look it up. The fact is, guys, girls, limited capacity, high recoil. It's always going to have high recoil, not because of the caliber selection. I care less what caliber. They make this in a 9mm. Guess what? You are gonna feel more recoil in a 9mm on a 1911 frame than you are on a Glock or a Smith & Wesson M&P. The polymer guns have evolved. That's how they came to be. Like I said, everybody can jump up and down and go, John Moses Browning. Why the hell do we have to say his middle name? Why can't it be John Browning? let me tell you why people put Moses in there. To give him godlike stature in the conversation. You know, people don't. You call people by their middle name in every conversation you have. It's stupid. But when people talk about John Browning, it's John Moses Browning. Gay. Stop it. You're being an asshole. John Browning did a great job in beating a revolver. Because, let's face it, that was the prevalent firearm of the day. Gaston Glock did a great job of beating the 1911. Because, let's face it, that was the most prevalent handgun of the day. When somebody builds... God, here we go. When somebody builds a better weapon system than the Glock, which is going to happen. God. No, Smith & Wesson M&P or SIGs or anybody else, well, not SIGs specifically, the Springfield XD, the Smith & Wesson M&P, they're all Glock copies. They're polymer Glock ripoffs. Every one of them. Don't care. Somebody's going to say, well, the H&K made the first polymer 9mm. Yeah, they did. It didn't work. Didn't work effectively. This surpassed that. Someday, somebody will build a completely different designed firearm that surpasses the capabilities of the Glock, or the M&P, or any of the other copies. And when that happens, I'll probably carry it. All guns jam. All of them. Every single last one of them. If you are trying to buy a gun that does not jam, got nothing for you. There's no such thing. There's no such animal. If you shoot it enough, it's going to jam. My advice to you is learn to fix that. On the fly, under pressure. There is no mythical non-jamming handgun. This gun jams, that gun jams. Every one of them guns I've got up there in Blue Guns jam. Every single last one of them is going to jam. You need to know how to cure that. You need to know how to fix it on the fly, under pressure, during a gunfight. Do some guns jam more than others? Well, yeah. Here, I'm going to piss off a large variety of high-end people. High points. Yeah, the high point sucks. Don't care how you cut it, it's a piece of shit. If you want to trust your life to a handgun that cost you less than my last lap dance, go ahead. Not my idea of a good day. However, if you're going to get in a gunfight with me, I would really appreciate it if you would bring a high point as your gun. Anyway, 1911's outdated, guys. 100-year-old technology. One day, this will be 100-year-old outdated technology. But it's not right now. If you shoot a 1911 better than any other gun, it's because you have not shot another gun, B, do not know what you're doing lining up the sights, pressing the trigger, or gripping the gun. Period. End of story. There is no C option. All guns operate basically the same. All handguns have basically the same damn grip angle. It's a dumb comment. Stop it. No. It works for my grandson. I don't know. stop saying stupid shit that it lowers the conversation. Let's look at them for what they are. Look at them for what they truly are. Is this pretty? Yes. Ooh. Is this pretty? Yes, I think it is. Ooh. They're plastic and steel, boys and girls. They're not meant to be pretty. They're meant to be there for when you're ready for a gunfight. Did I buy this gun and that finish because it's pretty? Yep. Brought it home, put the rocks to it, cleaned it up by meaning the tolerances, made it run smooth. It's a great gun. Does it operate reliably? Yeah, it does. This gun operates very reliably. Don't care how you cut that pie. This gun does not bring as much lead as that gun to a gunfight. Wasn't a caliber debate. If you want to see the caliber debate, go ahead to ballistics videos. This gun cannot do anything that that gun can't do. Anything you can do, I can do better. It's true. Anything that can do, that thing can do better. Period. End of story. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Oh, here come the comments. I'm Mac with Double Tap Shooting. This has been a reality check. Have a good night.